Hey, it's me, Assassin Nathan. You might not know this, but I like Star Trek, and I especially like Deep Space Nine. I like me some Cardassians, you know, hashtag Gul Dukat did nothing wrong, right? I'm especially interested in the alcohol of Star Trek. So I've made Romulan ale before using a recipe I found online, which is interesting. It was good, it was very strong, but it was pretty good. So I was like, man, there's got to be a good recipe for Kanar. But every recipe I find for Kanar is like just, you know, it's a dark alcohol. The thing about it is that it's thick. Kanar is thick, and I know there's different types, and we don't really get to see like the other colors, the pink and the whatever. Like mostly we see the dark, what I would call brown, which I think they used molasses or something like that for some of it, like a thinned out molasses. Like so, you know, there's these alcohols in Star Trek. I'm super interested by them. I was talking with a friend of mine. I'm like, how can we thicken up alcohol? And I was like, oh, well, SodaStream does like, they have like a cola syrup, right? And it's kind of thick, but it's not that thick. So you would, I don't know, I think even adding any of it might thicken your alcohol a bit, but not enough. So I don't think that's gonna work. So we were like, what about gelatin? And I started thinking, well, gelatin you're gonna turn into, like, it's gonna turn into Jell-O. But I started doing research and I was like, okay, well, is that true? And it turns out if you want to thicken up alcohol, slowly adding gelatin in, you can get it to a thicker consistency, but it won't solidify as Jell-O, as a Jell-O, if you don't put too much in. So I was doing some reading, and it was, I think per 16 ounces, it was 4 leaves to get like a Jell-O consistency. So, and that's like, you can get the gelatin like sheets, right? So I don't have that. My lovely wife was nice enough to go and pick up some Knox gelatin. I'm just gonna get real close here. Some Knox gelatin. It's original. I think it's unflavored. We've got this. So we're gonna try it and see like what we can do with it. And Kanar, as you know, is a dark, I mean, maybe you don't know, maybe you don't watch a lot of Star Trek. Kanar is a very dark alcohol and drank a lot by Cardassians primarily. They love the stuff, especially Damar. Good old Uncle Damar's hot Kanar. So I went and got some Captain Morgan's black spice rum. It matches the color approximately. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I'll film the entire process of mixing it. We might, but I might. My plan currently is, I'm not going to flavor it. It's just going to be this and gelatin. That's going to be it. And if I get a good consistency, I'm going to keep track of how much of this I put in. I'm going to put the whole bottle. I'm going to mix a whole bottle. And I'm just going to mix it and see what happens. So I will keep good track, and we'll come back in a few moments. It'll be instant for you. It'll probably be 15, 20 minutes for me. Now, the thing about gelatin is they recommend heating the liquid you're putting it into. But I don't want to burn off any of the alcohol, right? So I don't know if I'm going to heat it. I might just mix it in slower so that it has time. I'm just going to get a big old bowl. So I'm just going to go with it like a big old bowl like this. And we're going to put our rum in it and slowly mix in gelatin. And if I come up with anything to say, I'll bring you guys over, chat in the middle. Otherwise, talk to you in a few minutes. So just so you know, these are 1 tablespoon of gelatin. So that's 15 milliliters. If you're curious, I will tell you how many of these I put in. I might even do the math, put it up on screen somewhere once that's ready. But I've got my rum in my Kanar base in a bowl, and we're just going to start putting this in and mixing it. So I'm at an interesting point in the process. I did move to a pot and turned it on a very low heat. Check this out. It's like weird clumps. I'm assuming the gelatin is sticking to something. What it's bonding with, I don't know yet. As we heat it up, I'm hoping that kind of melts back down. Hey, welcome back. So, I know what you're thinking. Hey, that looks kind of gross. And it does. You're right. It's a little thicker. I put it in the freezer for a good 30, 40 minutes now. It's been cooling for over an hour. It's definitely thicker. Not as thick as Kanar was. I don't know if you'll ever get it there without making like proper gelatin. But I got my glass over here. This did get kind of puddingy. Kind of like pudding. Let's see. Oh, it's chunky. Oh, it's chunky. It's almost like gravy. Oh, what? Still smells like rum. It's thicker. I don't know. It tastes basically the same. I did lose some volume on it. Don't know why, but it is thicker, so it's got that going for it. Give it a try if you're interested. I might do something wacky here. I got a little bit of this Diet Cola goop left, right? And it's not as thick as like a not diet one. How thick is this? Hang on, let's... Basically not that thick. I was thinking, what if we put like a little bit of this in there too? Maybe it'll thicken it up, but it's not that thick. You could go for something like this if you want, but the diet, I will warn you, is not as thick. Well, actually, I don't know. I've never had not diet. Cancel this idea. Kanar, not really. It is thicker. I honestly, I wouldn't really recommend doing this. I'm gonna keep experimenting, but this is where we're at with this one. This was 2 packs, so that was, how much was in these packs? That was 30 milliliters of gelatin packs from a Knox packet, so that's 2 tablespoons, and it's starting to thicken. It's getting there, and if I were to let it maybe fully set, well, we might have an actual problem on our hands. That might just turn into actual Jell-O. I'm gonna put it back in the fridge for a while, and I'm gonna see how thick it will get, and then I'll report back to you. One more quick aside: I put a little bit of that syrup. Into this. Don't do it. Bad idea. Bad idea. Maybe I put too much in, but it's so concentrated, it's not a good idea. If maybe put like one of those cupfuls into that whole bottle if you really wanted to, but I would recommend if you're gonna go with thickening it up, either drink it straight or we'll find a better recipe for this eventually, and I'll do that. But today's experiment, I'm gonna call it a success but a failure. A success because we did thicken it, a failure because it's gonna be hard to drink, I think. Maybe Kanar is just hard to drink. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's Kanar, I don't know. I do wanna, if there's any changes, like I said, it was kind of pudding-like in the fridge after I left it for a bit. Might be something there, but this, see now that thinned it out quite a bit too. Putting that little glop in. I put a bit of water because I took a sip and it was awful. So I put a little water to balance it out, which it's now balanced, but it's not as good. Like, I'd rather just drink it straight. It's experimenting, okay? That's what this is. That's what Nathan Makes Star Wars Alcohol is all about. Experimentation. And this one, kind of a success, kind of a failure. Both. Neither. Again, if I get any more results on the thickness, I'll let you know. So I've had my Kanar, quote unquote, in the freezer for a bit here. And look how thick it's gotten. That's progress. So, the colder you make it, the thicker it gets. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's definitely moving around like a lot slower. So, there it is. So, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I left it in for a little while longer, and it does look the longer you leave it, the thicker it's going to get. Give that a try if you're interested. And hey, that's just one man's Kanar recipe. If you come up with your own, let me know in the comments below, or if you have any ideas, hit me up. And also, let me know what you want to see next time for Star Trek Kitchen, 10 Forward. What are we going to call this series? If you have an idea for what the series should be called, let me know. And you would think like Neelix's Galley, but I don't like Neelix, so we're not going to go with Neelix. Quarks Bar, the Replimat. Ooh, the Replimat. That's not bad. We could call it the Replimat. We're calling it the Replimat. This is called the Replimat. That's canon now. Come on back next time. Let me know what you want to see next on the Replimat. So we've done Kanar. What else can we do? Almost anything's on the table. If you want to see more of like the process, let me know. I thought that might be boring, but hey, let me know. That's what this is all about. Catch you next time.